Yeah. Get it, baby.
Feel the slow jam. Damn right.
Welcome to Indy Only Fans Sports Podcast. This week we're going to touch on it's football is here, guys. Football is here. First Hall of Fame game, Jets Browns. It's here next weekend. Full blown preseason football. Training camps are all going. The Colts hype is just Anthony Richardson is the next coming.
Stampeding in.
Yes, stampeding in. So let's
We
start off.
change our story every single week about Anthony Richardson, by the way.
We do, but
Last week it was panic time.
Right. This week it's he's super accurate.
Yes, he's hitting 6 of 8, 2 practices
back.
in a row.
He's back.
He's going to dominate for
He's
sure.
back. He's going to rush for 1,000 yards, throw for probably 3,000. It's amazing.
30-plus touchdowns.
Over on the Colts.
But,
Guaranteed.
All seriousness, the news coming out of training camp is that he is actually looking good. But so is Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew always looks good.
Yeah.
He's got the handlebar mustache, bud.
So let's start off talking about last podcast. We kind of prophesied that this was coming. The Johnathan Taylor weirdness that's happened this week. What do you guys think? Which side of this are you on? What are your thoughts on it, Barry?
Well, for starters, when I start hearing billionaire owners bickering with millionaire players over money, I tend to kind of tune out.
Right.
But
Facts.
in this case, I mean, Johnathan Taylor has no leverage. He has to play. If you want to get paid this year, you got to play. If you want to get paid next year, 12 or 15, you got to come and play, and you got to perform and produce.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also physically unable to perform, right?
He is on the pup right now. Yes.
So he can't even play, but wants a new contract. I don't quite
Somebody give me a
understand.
puppers.
Puppers and brew.
Yeah. How are you now?
How are you now? Good, and you?
I think he needs to play. I'm not on anybody's side. Just shut up and play. You know, that's what they told LeBron. That was really awesome advice. Good job, guy, whoever said that. But he does. He just needs to play, and he needs to dominate. I mean, let your play speak for itself. If you want you want to get paid like you're a badass, play like one.
Mm-hmm.
You did not play like one last year. So his leverage, if he would have had that season he had 2 years ago, last
year.
season, he would have a ton of leverage.
Right.
But he didn't. And now he's kind of in the position where he's in. The position that he plays is in the position where they're all in, and they're just struggling to get paid. But
Yeah.
it doesn't help us that Zach Moss snapped his arm in half.
He'll be back right around the start of the season, though. I believe 4 to 6 weeks is
Right.
But I mean, Deion Jackson and we drafted a kid Hull. It sounds like they're doing just fine in camp. I mean, they're no Johnathan Taylor, obviously. He's special, but it doesn't matter how special a running back is. And in my opinion, you don't give him that big of a chunk of your salary cap.
Correct.
And you're right. He has no leverage. He's hurt. I don't know about the back. The whole back thing sounds weird. I don't know who's making what up. If he's lying about it, or if the Colts are, where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm sure. And I've seen videos where he's walking around, looks like a super old man, and yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out because if they put him on the non-injury list, that means that his like right now he's on that rookie, his last rookie year deal, it would like freeze and it would still be that next year. So he would gain no
By sitting out.
yeah, he gains nothing. It would actually hurt him. So yeah, I say don't cave, man, even if it means he doesn't play.
What's caving?
Paying him, giving him what he wants.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that
it's
isn't
not going to
gonna
happen.
There's no reason to.
Do you think we should trade him?
Only if you can get a third rounder better. Maybe a fourth rounder.
I mean, it's not like basketball or baseball where you trade and you really get something good back.
Right.
Like, when have you ever seen a football trade where you're like, ooh, that was a great trade?
Yeah, the last time was when we gave a first-round pick for freaking what was that? Trent Richardson. We're the only ones that
Tree
we
stump.
were on the bad end of that one.
Yeah. The Dolphins. Didn't the Dolphins trade for Tyreek Hill, or did they sign him as a free agent? I think that ended up being pretty damn good. But, yeah, I don't see why you would trade him. Make him play.
Yeah. But will he? I mean,
Don't.
and if he
care.
does play, will he try? And it's like, but of course, realistically, what's this season going to look like for us anyway? I mean, I know we all.
Hey, Anthony Richardson was 6 of 8, 2 days in a row.
I picked them to go 10-7, so obviously I think they're going to do well. But man, this is one of those years where, I mean, we could be 7-10 or 10-7. Just a lot of, just depends. Shaq Leonard,
Put
he's
the pads
back.
on.
Yeah, he played full on practice, and like he is.
He's a difference
crucial.
maker.
He really is.
He's a 2-win swing type player. Like you could win 2 more games if he plays the full season, or you could lose a couple if he's not playing. How many did he played in like 1 game last year, right? And had a pick. He had an interception. Like he just is everywhere. He's that guy that's everywhere. Like having him back, I think, is huge for our D.
I hope he's healthy, and that was just that all that back stuff is in the past. It's this year will tell. Like this could be his last year or the start of the rest of his career. So stay tuned on that.
Yeah, if he has any significant injury again, he will not be on our team anymore, I'm sure.
Right. What else? Any other Colts thoughts?
I mean, based on what I read about the training camp, like not only is Richardson playing well, but he's finding all the receivers, like touchdowns to 3 different players. I'm excited to see our receivers if we can actually get them the ball, because I think we have a couple between Pierce and Pittman. I think we have really good receivers that we just never got the ball to because Matt Ryan was a statue.
Young.
Yes.
Young but talented.
Big.
Jameson got his weekly Matt Ryan bashing out of the way on the podcast. I'm interested, looking forward to Danny's horse impersonation coming up. I think he's done it in the last 3 podcasts. The first 2 were in reference to the Colts. Last week he was
A Nordic horse.
Yes, he was a Nordic horse being ridden by Danish, Amazonian.
Wow. Well, it's been
Soccer
a lot of women's soccer in my life lately. So,
The Swiss, really good watch.
been a lot of female soccer imagination going on in my private life. if you will.
There it
Yeah.
is.
The Swiss are a really good watch if you like to watch soccer.
Yeah. The who's the ladies that beat the U.S. today?
Sweden? Yeah.
Not so bad.
How are you now?
All right. So Colts super optimistic, except for this whole Johnathan Taylor thing, but. It's kind of nice, too, that the Johnathan Taylor thing kind of absorbs all of the negative energy in the room away from everybody else. You know what I mean?
Correct.
That's kind of a good thing. So now everybody's just, that's the one big negative, and then everything else just kind of just floats on through, and everybody's having a nice little camp.
And the Colts go 10-7, and
Ow!
we all live happily ever after.
Yeah. Next week is it next week or the week after?
I was going to ask you when the Bears in town.
Yeah, I think it's the week after. Yeah.
I think I saw
it's not next
Ursay
week.
saying it's all sold out.
They
Yeah, I got 4 tickets for each session if you guys want to go.
canceled my kid's soccer practice up there because of the training camp because it's going to be so busy.
How dare they?
Right?
All right. Well, anything else? Any other Colt stuff?
No. I'm really excited for Shaq Leonard. Let's go. Just stay healthy.
The main part of the podcast today, we're going to talk about fantasy football. But before we get into that, let's talk about one other current event thing that's kind of a big deal. That's interesting to me anyway. Is the college football conference realignment? It's just gotten
Nuts.
nuts, man. Like the Pac-12 is just dissolving. I just read where in 2024 the Pac-12 will literally only be 4 teams left, which
The
as you
Pac
said,
4.
the Pac-4. Yeah, and then Big Ten by 2024 we're adding Oregon, UCLA, USC, and Washington.
Is Oregon, Washington official?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be Barry. Let me ask you, because you're a big Purdue fan. How do you feel about this? Because IU and Purdue are always at the bottom anyway. So adding these big powerhouse teams, what do you think?
At the bottom, I
Sorry.
tend to look at it from a basketball perspective, but
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm sorry. I was
But-
talking football.
yeah, well, what it's football is football. If Purdue goes to a bowl game, then
The Big Ten in basketball, when you add Washington, Oregon, UCLA, and USC,
I
that's
didn't
pretty
even think about it
nasty,
from
dude.
basketball standpoint. Like that's like
I think about could go to
That's
UCLA
pretty awesome.
and see Purdue play at Pauley Pavilion. Would
Right.
be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm all
I've
for it.
been to Notre Dame USC football game.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the best things I've ever been to. It was amazing. We got there Thanksgiving weekend, and Scott and I tailgated on top of a parking garage,
Yeah.
and it was 80 degrees on Thanksgiving weekend, and the USC co-eds were laying out across the parking garage. I was like, oh, wow. Tough life out here in L.A.
Was there any bareback horse riding?
There was no Nordic women riding horses, no.
Oh, man. Solid. With like, well, never mind. So as of 2024, there's going to be 18 teams in the Big Ten, and then I don't know what'll happen with those weird ass divisions they've got. I assume they'll restructure that. I would think, right? So yeah, that's gonna. I'm kind of excited about it. I think it just makes college football, and now that I think about it, college basketball even better. Just all these big power teams together. So the other big winner in that was the Big 12. They're adding BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, UCF. So in 2024, they'll be up to 16 teams.
Well, they add them this year, and then 2024 they add Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah.
Correct. Yep, exactly. For a total of 16 teams. So then you're going to have the SEC 2024. They add Oklahoma and Texas, which takes them to a total of 16. So yeah, Big 12 16, SEC 16, Big 10 18. I like it. What do you guys think? What's your general thoughts on all of it?
Who's the fourth? There's got to be a fourth power conference. Who's going to emerge? The ACC. It's got to be, right?
ACC. ACC as of 2023 will have 14 teams, but
I
they.
wonder if they swoop in for Cal and Stanford, because that would also fit like.
Yeah, they're but the teams that they'll have, the ACC it's weak. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the AAC. My bad.
The American Athletic Conference.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa.
The Atlantic Athletic Conference.
Something like that.
Can we get a fact check on that, Jamie? The AAC.
American Athletic Conference.
Right.
Correct.
Not so. Let's look at the ACC. Sorry about that. ACC
George Mason in
2023,
that conference?
14 teams.
Liberty.
And they don't have any movement right now, actually.
ACC has 15
Uh,
when you put Notre Dame in there.
In basketball.
Okay, well,
In field hockey.
14. Notre Dame is the, in parentheses, +1 to make it 15. Yeah, so what is that? There's a Power 5 conference. What is it? ACC, Big 10, SEC, Big 12. Who's the fifth one?
Pac-12 was the Pac-12.
Was the Pac-12. I wonder what'll happen there. Do you guys like seeing Deion Sanders in a cowboy hat? It just makes me happy.
I love anything that Deion does.
I mean, losing toes, wearing cowboy hats.
You
his
get me,
smile, his smile has always been like amazing. I pulled a really nice card of his recently too, like a really. I sold it, but anyway, Neon Deion. I always liked him.
He was so amazing to watch.
Okay, conference realignment. Hoosiers are clearly on the up in the Big Ten.
For sure.
Literally.
Banners.
Yeah.
Banners.
Yeah. Shout out.
Who's the football coach? He's very Tom Allen.
Yeah.
Is he still down there?
Don't know. I mean, I think it's
He's
the same
very
guy.
excitable.
Yeah. He does get wound up, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a great hype guy.
I just love that Penix, who was our quarterback 2 years ago, is at Washington now and is
Dominating.
projected to be like a top 3 quarterback in the draft. What the hell? I mean, like, ugh.
Yeah, he can sling it.
Yeah. What's Purdue's football outlook this year, Barry?
middle of the Big Ten.
Yeah.
We'll beat Iowa.
Is that the goal every year? Is just to beat Iowa?
Win IU, correct? Yes.
Right. Wonderful.
If we beat Iowa, then we go to a bowl game.
How exciting.
It's very much so.
Big game.
Yeah.
Do
I
we
thought we
play?
were talking about
does Notre Dame
basketball.
play Purdue
Realignment.
again? They signed up to start playing again, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think maybe they're on the schedule this year. That's always a no-lose situation.
Well, let's. We buried the lead, obviously. The RFL draft, which is our, for you people who
Don't care.
don't care, don't know us, our fantasy football league. This is year 20.
2 or 3.
No, dude, way more than that. 26 or
I feel
27.
like
right?
we talk about this every other podcast.
God, I don't know.
Year 29.
It's the year 29.
29.
Yeah, that's right. Because next year's 30, and we're going to Vegas.
That's weird.
Woo! Where clearly,
Ocho Cinco is going to show up.
Mike Lowry will be missing.
He will be the guy that's
The
stuck on
hangover.
the roof.
Yeah, has anybody seen Mike? And then obviously, who knows what kind of shit Phil and Tommy will get into, and we'll probably have to bail Sepp out. And the McDermotts.
Will not leave the hotel room.
I'm like kind of foreshadowing like just dead hookers between mattresses.
No, I'd say it's more likely they set off smoke alarms and the
Yeah.
whole entire hotel casino has to be
Vapes,
abandoned.
bro, vapes.
Big brain
It's legal
hits,
there now, too.
Big brain hits some weird jackpot and becomes an instant millionaire. Yeah! But it only covers like half of his trade costs for the year. And, yeah, it's gonna be epic. I hope that actually happens next year. That'd be so great. Yeah. Anyway,
Anywho,
and yeah, Jameson gets to go, but Katie only lets him come out of the room for like 2 hours a night.
I need to
For
be on
sure.
FaceTime the whole entire weekend.
Yeah, because I'm big like that. That's what I do.
Anyway, Vegas.
I will wear
Baby.
salmon shorts and shop with her.
Right, Vegas 24. Book it.
Where are we having this draft? I mean, it's in Vegas. Are we just going into the Bally's Sportsbook?
The Bally's Sportsbook, the one that's down, the old one, it's gone.
What?
Yeah. I think what
That's-
meant to say is what the
just keep-
Yeah, it's gone. They're redoing all kinds of shit out there right now. It's crazy.
COVID.
So we just have to.
Yeah, that's COVID's fault. Do you think going forward for the rest of our lives, any bad thing that happens is just like
COVID.
COVID. COVID. Trump won. Thanks, COVID.
You know he did. COVID.
But Barry's like, COVID's not funny, man.
It's a serious topic
What
here.
he's saying, man.
Oh shit!
Anyway, so fantasy football's here. Boom. Do we need a break? Do we need a break, Barry? Bathroom break.
Yeah, because we need to.
All right,
we need to talk about what.
We'll
just
take a
happened.
quick break.
No, we're good.
We're good.
Go ahead.
All right.
Proceed.
Roll.
What I've been trying to say is that
Just run with it.
as of right now, as we sit here, the RFL draft is 11 days, 22 hours, 19 minutes away.
Maybe a few more minutes.
But so that's our fantasy football league that we're in. Been in it for 29 years. If you've ever seen the show The League on TV, it's got
Which
a
you
lot
haven't.
of similarities. And
Love that show.
so we're going to talk a little fantasy football, and we're just very general. Figured we'd talk about some the positions, some of our favorites at each position in the upper tier, maybe some of our favorites down in the more of the sleeper range, and just kind of go at it from there. So
Are you asking for my sneakers?
I want your sneakers.
Sneakers.
That's what I was telling Jameson. I hate to even reveal my
Right.
sneakers.
I just
You don't want to give the McDermotts any ammo going into a draft to snipe from you. Of course, we could lay some
Must be a baller.
baller. Of course, we could lay some serious smoke too with this.
No.
All right, so let's start with quarterbacks. Let's look at the old quarterback list here. Quarterbacks top, obviously Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Burrow, Fields, Herbert. This list has Watson at 8, Trevor Lawrence, Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, etc.
I want to know how Deshaun Watson has shot up.
Yeah.
Like, he was putrid last year.
So I guess first question: will Deshaun Watson be on either one of your teams, no matter what a value you get him at?
No.
Barry, you seem like
Deep
a big
thoughts.
Deshaun Watson guy.
I mean, he could be on my team. I don't know. If I punt quarterback and he's the 12th guy on the board, then he could be on
Barry's
my
already
team.
drafted his 6 running backs in the first 8 rounds.
Oh, we're getting a running back. We're just going to sit back and let Barry have the floor when we get to running backs.
I don't like running backs this year. There's like 2 or 3 of them on the board, and that's it. So
Oh, wow.
And we can call Ms. Wiki
Yeah.
to get a rundown on tight ends.
So the big guys, the right, I have obviously, if anyone who knows me, done some mock drafts or not, some
Like, honestly, I'm going to ask you honestly right now, how many
best ball teams.
best ball teams do you have right now?
Every
Every time I've seen you in the last week,
That's a
you're
lie.
drafting a team.
You've seen me
you were
twice.
standing at a soccer game drafting a best ball
Well,
team.
it's a time draft where you get
Oh,
8
yeah.
hours between picks.
Right.
Just happened to be my turn.
Uh-huh.
But your instincts are correct.
I still had 7.5 hours to go, but I
Right.
needed to make my pick right then and there.
Exactly. I knew. I already
I knew
already
who
had
it was.
I had the queue loaded.
Deshaun was there.
Don't think the queue's not loaded right now as we sit here.
Draft it up.
Yeah, so I probably got we're probably in the 20s. Yeah,
You're in the 30s.
maybe. There's an app, Underdog. I think it's just called Underdog Best Ball Leagues, and it's amazing. Like the format is so great, it's so user friendly, and the prizes are unreal. Like there's this one tournament. It's $25 an entry, so it's a little pricey, but the first prize is $3.5 million. Yeah.
Winning it.
Yeah. Anyway, Ben, so let's talk top tier quarterbacks, because in these best ball drafts, Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Hurts, and these are usually 12-team leagues. Ours is a 14-team league.
14, which makes it
Big
brutal.
boys.
Where does the top tier fall off for you?
Okay, well, first of all, those guys usually go into first, early second round.
Correct.
Would you take one of those guys
I'm at 13.
that early? Oh, you are at 13?
I'm at 13.
So do you could you see yourself taking Mahomes, Allen, or Hurts at 13? Or I guess
It's an option.
16? Really?
It's an option.
Yeah.
I mean, we've discussed before my freaking. If I take one of them, you can just count on them getting hurt. Let's just throw it out there right now. Like, it's gonna happen.
I don't think that way.
Season ending. But yeah, it's an option down at 13. It just depends on what people up above me leave.
Barry, what do you think? What's your thoughts on taking a quarterback that early? One of those
I
three
think
guys.
Jameson is smoke screening right now, personally,
It's
but
totally an option.
He's already got Mahomes in
like,
his
I
queue,
could
doesn't he?
seriously take Mahomes at 13.
I ain't scared.
Yeah. Do you see the RFL as
Jamie's got Daniel Jones in the 8th round written all over him.
Oh yeah.
Danny Dimes. Only if he redoes the Kevin Love dropping dimes commercial.
That's a great commercial.
I love that commercial.
He is like, as I look at this, he's the last of the quote unquote running quarterbacks.
Who? Daniel Jones?
Yeah.
Wow. I've seen him run. It's not. I wouldn't qualify. He's okay.
Are you
He's okay.
I'm gonna drop.
Oh.
But it's cussed. I mean, are you kidding me? He
He's-
was. Look up
you're
his-
gonna put him in this. Are you gonna like put him in the same thing as Lamar Jackson and Richardson and
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts?
Yeah.
Danny Dimes.
I called him a running quarterback. Yeah, you did. Look it up. Look up his stats. from last
Look
year.
it up, man. Right now.
Kidding me?
Danny, he'll drop 100 or 75-yard touchdown run on you like that.
He's a running
125.
quarterback. Look at his rushing stats. They're pretty impressive.
Projected 110 rushing attempts.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. That's like 8 a game, bro.
Right. No, he is a running threat, and he's
Projected for 640 yards.
Yeah. Exactly. And so, how many is Josh Allen projected for?
Please hold.
I will say 665.
I will say 550.
661.8.
Yeah. So basically the same. Barry nailed it.
I went over, though. Price is Right rules always apply. Damn it. I was going to say 660. I got greedy. I tried to get within 10 and win the double
666.
showcase,
He's
Jamie.
the devil. So we agree that Daniel Jones is a running quarterback?
I wouldn't call Daniel Jones a running quarterback.
Okay. Well, don't draft him either when he's a value in the 8th round. And He'll win you your
I
league.
didn't mean
Lamar
to start a
Jackson
fight.
projected for 950 yards rushing.
Okay.
I would call him a running quarterback.
Will you look up? I was wrong. Anthony Richardson is.
I was going to say.
Yeah, but you didn't. But
I couldn't because you were too busy arguing with your brother
Yeah.
whether Daniel Jones is
but
a
you
running
didn't.
quarterback or
Can
not.
you look
so.
him up? What's his projections?
574.
Really? That's it?
Well, I'm assuming
Well,
they're probably projecting him not to start the season as our starter.
Yeah.
Concur.
What do we? Who is like? Is the mustache starting? What's going on?
I don't. Either way, I'm happy. I mean,
Me
either way,
too.
it makes me smile.
Me too.
I would. The hype train is building. Ursay wanted him to start from the get.
Richardson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he said, we drafted him for him to play.
Barry.
And so I mean, if he keeps practicing like he's practicing, wouldn't surprise me. Why not just throw him in there?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't decide what I feel like the right thing to do.
I mean, we had Peyton Manning. He was not awesome his first season. He had the interceptions record.
nobody really ever is, are they?
No.
Yeah. So
Brock,
get it
Brock
out of the way.
Purdy.
Now, guys who sit behind other quarterbacks and then start have great seasons.
Mm.
You know, but so yeah. But if Richardson starts, he's going to have more than 500 rushing yards.
Agree.
Please.
He's going to have 500 if he comes off our bench.
Where'd you get that from? ESPN?
Fantasy Pros.
Oh, so they're going to get a strongly worded letter.
Sounds like a good prop bet for you to be making. coming
So
up here.
we're. I mean,
Oh.
they're
Put a unit on that.
yeah. They're
like it.
projecting our part-time quarterback at 570.
Rushing?
Yeah, that's Anthony Richardson,
Oh, I gotcha,
574,
I gotcha.
and Danny Dimes at 660, who should start all the games. Not a rushing quarterback.
So where do Mahomes, Allen, and Hurts
He's
go?
not a Russian quarterback.
Nah.
Where do they go in our
He's an
league?
American quarterback.
Who?
He's not a Russian quarterback.
I think Allen and Mahomes don't make it out of the second round.
Hurts?
Oh, Hurts?
I like Hurts better than all of them.
Yeah. You were having a man crush on Hurts.
I had him last year.
I know you did. I heard about it a lot in your rosterbation sessions.
I mean, please, he was. I should have won the championship last year, but that's another story. He was great.
Coach would have put me in. We would have won state.
Yeah. All right, so Barry, would you draft a quarterback with your second round pick this year?
No.
No, he's got to get his running backs out real quick.
Yeah.
No.
All right, so okay then.
But maybe in the third round.
Who is your favorite sneaker quarterback?
Daniel Jones.
Is it really? Jameson?
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Tua is ranked below him in these rankings I'm looking at.
Yeah, Tua scares me with the injury, but
Yeah,
God, Tua was balling when he was healthy last year.
I would put the Bill Polian skull and crossbones like he had for Ricky Williams on my draft board for Tua, even though I picked the Dolphins to go to the Super Bowl.
And I might take Tyreek Hill in the first round.
The cheetah is good. Sneaker for me is Trevor Lawrence. Like, I think he just started to scratch the surface of how good he could be.
Mm-hmm.
Do you classify Trevor Lawrence as a runner?
No,
Yeah,
I see
called
Trevor
the buck.
Lawrence as a pocket passer who's mobile. Like he's like in that tweener zone between,
He's a teenager.
he's not a run first he's like a check 2 or 3 progressions and then run guy. And I'm sure there's some plays they have that are running plays for him, but probably not very often.
He
I would
ran
guess.
pretty well in college,
Yeah.
but he doesn't run a lot in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. I like Trevor Lawrence too. Like,
I think he's a sneaker.
yeah, I wonder where he'll go in our draft.
I'm taking him in the first round.
Yeah. Justin Fields won't make it out of the third round in the RFL
Correct.
with all the Bears fans. Who do you like best out of the late round guys?
None of them.
Nobody?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I like that. I mean,
He's got weapons.
he's motivated too. He's the kind of guy that like he'll when they drafted Jordan Love in Green Bay, he became the MVP 2 years in a row. That's just how he's wired. Now,
Their line
you can
sucks,
be
so-
that way, but when you're 40, your body might not agree with what you want to do. So we'll just have to see there. But man, he's got some weapons there too.
He does.
Yeah. All right. Any other quarterback notes? I will ask you about some of the back end guys. What do you guys think about? Do you feel like any of the rookies will have an actual fantasy impact this year? That'd be Bryce Young,
No.
C.J. Stroud.
No.
No,
I-
Richardson.
I would almost consider Brock Purdy still a rookie because what did he play? 3 games last year? 6? Did he play 6?
Undefeated.
I think that's also a sleeper. Like, you want to talk about someone who has weapons on weapons on weapons and an offensive line where Rodgers' offensive line sucks.
And he's got that. He's before I say this, he's not Tom Brady, but he's got
swag.
He's got like, I don't give a shit. I belong here. I'm a badass attitude. I like him.
I mean, their receivers, tight end, running back situation is just loaded.
Yeah, I do. I really like Brock Purdy.
And they play the Cardinals twice.
I'm actually bidding on some Brock Purdy cards right now on eBay.
All goes back to the cards, Barry.
It's a Brock Purdy card on his phone.
Yep. It's a double prism lot right now. Current bid
Huge
$20.50.
double prism.
6 minutes left. Don't know if I want to go much higher than that, boys.
Donruss.
No, prism. That's the gold standard.
Yeah, prisms.
You want a guy's prism rookie. Is what you want.
Legit.
All right. So what do you think Jordan Love's going to do in Green Bay? Any thoughts there? It's an interesting one.
Average.
Do you think he's more likely to succeed or more likely to fail?
I think he's going to be okay. I think he's more likely to fail. Because I've never been impressed with their line either. Like and they always seem to have a ton of injuries.
Yeah.
They do have 2 good running backs, so I mean that could help them.
Yeah. Barry, Baker Mayfield, go.
We're doing Baker Mayfield takes now. What team is Baker Mayfield on again? The Bucks.
He's the Bucks starting.
If I start Baker Mayfield any point this year, then the season has gone horribly, horribly wrong.
Right.
I would almost put money on I have Baker Mayfield in my lineup week 14 in the playoffs.
That will be funny if you do. Remember when we were doing preseason? Oh, shit. All right.
Baker Mayfield's a gunslinger.
Yeah, he's the
He's
shit.
going to be chugging it up all year long.
Let's move on to running backs.
Is there anybody you wouldn't draft that's
Baker
supposed
Mayfield.
to be decent?
Quarterbacks?
Quarterbacks.
I do not. Out of all those teams I've done already, I do not have Kyler Murray on one single team.
Well,
That's
Kyler
not
Murray's
a very
not
hot
gonna
take,
play,
bro.
bro. He's
Come
got
on.
an ACL.
Yeah,
Okay. you want
That was a great hot take. I'm not.
I
taking
do
Kyler
not
Murray, all
have
right?
the guy with the blown ACL on my team.
He's playing this year.
Not in the start of the season, he's not.
No, but
They might just sit him the whole season and tank it.
Seriously, just break
who
out
else?
Kyler Murray.
I'm not a big Jimmy Garoppolo guy.
You're a big
Come
Stafford
on, make it
guy.
a hotter take than that. Let's go.
Jimmy Garoppolo? Of course you're not. He sucks.
Everybody. Oh, okay. Here's one. I own 0 shares of Russell Wilson,
All right, that will play.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
but we will
Me
get
neither.
into hit it. Once we start talking about receivers, I actually like his receivers, though, which is
So you're hedging your bet.
yeah. Well, just because KJ Hamler got hurt this week.
Again.
Yeah, and then who's the kid who big tall Patrick? So they've had 2 receivers get hurt this week, so it's basically just leaves Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton. And Jerry Jeudy was really hot at the end of last year, and so I like the receivers, but I don't like. Even though Sean Payton's there, so there's an argument to be made. Well, Sean Payton's there. Russell's going to be, like Drew Brees. Well, I don't think so.
He's not Drew Brees, and Sean Payton is undercover like a heavy run guy.
I could see Russell Wilson not being on Denver next year because
Yeah,
he'll go before Sean Payton goes.
Oh, 100%.
All right, you guys ready to move on to running backs, or you have more?
Let's go.
Or Barry did? Oh, that's right. Barry wanted to talk about Desmond Ritter.
I did.
Big
Right.
Desmond Ritter talk.
He's ranked 29th on this
Exactly.
rankings that I have.
All right.
Sam
But
Howell.
yeah, Atlanta.
What about
Uh,
Sam Howell?
Sam Howell's ranked higher than Desmond Ritter.
I've got Ritter at 31 and Howell at 30.
Yeah.
Mac Jones 29.
Mac
Right.
Jones.
But watch out for those Atlanta Falcons. They're coming.
So okay, no Ritter talk.
No, I thought we were going to save that for Bijan.
You know who could be a sneaky one is Derek Carr. New Orleans. Hey now.
Agreed.
All right. Running backs. The big boys, obviously, are Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, the rookie, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry.
Nick gave me a
Johnathan Taylor, Josh
Chubb.
Jacobs, Nick Chubb. And then we start getting into the second-tier guys, Pollard, Breece Hall, Joe Mixon, Ramondre Stevenson, etc.
What do you do with Johnathan Taylor?
I have very little Johnathan Taylor on any of my best ball teams, just because even before this weird stuff started happening, I just don't see him having a good year. I don't know why. It's one of those things. I have a feeling. You know, it's our team. You kind of have your finger on the pulse of your team a lot of times, and it just doesn't feel good. Like I don't. Even if he plays, it'll be limited. Will it be wholehearted? There's just bad energy around.
There's a
him.
couple guys in that spot though, like Josh Jacobs, who's been one of the most consistent fantasy backs. He's in the same situation.
I haven't drafted him either, and that was like. Remember, he was considered. Everybody hated him last year, and
Tommy loved him.
Tommy ended up loving him because he was a baller last year, Josh Jacobs. But yeah, he still hasn't reported to camp, right? And is he the last one?
He's reported. I think he played in the Hall of Fame game.
Well, he didn't because the Raiders didn't play in the Hall of Fame game. It was the Browns and the Jets.
Was it?
Yeah.
Didn't watch it. Hall of Fame game is always great to watch.
You were thinking of the 2022 Hall of
Can
Fame
you
game.
look up to
Possible.
see if Jacobs has reported? I don't believe he has. Barry, you're
Danny?
historically known as a big running back guy, obviously. Who's your favorite? If you had to pick one, Austin Eckler, McCaffrey, or Bijan, who you going with?
Well, I'm not ready to put my team in the hands of a rookie. That's just me.
I know he's so
So
sexy though.
Kind of throw him out, and then after McCaffrey and Eckler, and I like Chubb later on in the first round. But
Yeah.
after those three, if I'm throwing Bijan out, I don't like any running backs.
Really? So
It's
you're
all-
just kind of out this year?
Well, I mean, I've got the fourth pick, so it's either Eckler or Tyreek, right?
Tyreek.
Tyreek.
Yeah, the Tyreek thing. It's
Who do you think the first three picks are?
Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, and Justin Jefferson,
Think so, huh?
in that order.
Think Phil's taking Bijan?
My sources say so.
Oh, really?
Is that what Brett is saying?
I shall not reveal my sources.
wow. Season 5 Wire. Heard of it? I like Bijan is one of those guys. Like I would love to have him on my team, but I'm like you. I don't.
You'd rather have him at 8 or 9. I mean, you can't. I can't justify it at 4.
Right. So you think Phil takes Bijan?
That's what my sources are telling me.
And
yes.
so what are you? You're pick 4.
Correct.
Who's pick 1?
Mikey, right?
Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
Lowry.
He'll take. So it'll go
McCaffrey.
Jefferson.
He'll take McCaffrey.
Oh, he will.
And if he doesn't, Brad will take McCaffrey at 3.
Fact.
Huh.
Yeah, McCaffrey he should not make it past 3.
So if McCaffrey and Bijan go in the top 5, that means that I get either Tyreek, Jamar Chase, or
Eckler.
Justin Jefferson. So
Well, you're not going to get Justin Jefferson.
no, he.
I will take him at 4.
In 90% of the drafts I've done, Justin
Number
Jefferson
1.
goes number 1. Yeah, and then Chase goes 2, and then
I would take Eckler or Tyreek Hill over Chase.
you would
What position are you?
5.
Cooper Cup.
No.
Cooper Cup all day.
We're not on receivers yet, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
What pick do you have, Jamison? 13.
13. The running back pool is not deep.
It's garbage.
It's not deep. And
That's why I feel like I should take Eckler, because that's kind of the last man standing right there.
I'm just gonna say that there's about 10 or 15 guys down in the running back dead zone that I love. Like, there's some really good value down there.
It's a
James Conner.
Good thing
Hot.
nobody listens to this.
James Conner's
Right.
your guy.
No, you know what I can promise you?
James Conner will not be on your team.
Not only that, I'm going to go a step further.
No Cardinals.
No Cardinals, boys. This is a no Cardinal year. That's
no
right.
Cardinal zone. I don't know if you knew.
For real, no
What if
Cardinals.
it's a Ball State Cardinal?
I'm probably going to have
Bernie Parmalee.
no Cardinals, no Rams.
I know who you're looking at down there in that dead zone. So
Who's that? Who you got?
Ah,
If you guess it, I'll say yes.
no, that's not good for either of us. So
Yeah.
Kamara, boy.
Kamara, please.
Yeah, come on, Dan.
No.
Kamara.
I don't draft guys who have suspensions or who are like.
Kenny Walker the third.
I don't like negative energy on my team, bud.
Because I remember. Do you remember how excited he was about the Seahawks? Like he's like all in on the Seahawks. 12th
Yeah.
man.
Kenny
He's like
Walker.
a second round pick, early second round.
Kenny Walker has the. They drafted a running back in like the second round, Charbonnet. Charbonnet. And so that's kind of muddies that water. But Charbonnet's hurt, shoulder injury, and
You're talking about that third and fourth round dead zone of running backs.
yeah, I'm talking about like from the fourth through the eighth or ninth. There's some guys I'm gonna stack my roster with. Just so settle down.
Just be prepared, Barry.
It's gonna be sexy.
Yeah,
It's gonna
for
be
sure.
super sexy.
Huge.
Well, like I'll give you 5 running backs. Tell me who you like the best out of them. Okay.
Go.
5?
5.
5?
All right. So
Sure you
you've
don't wanna do
got Miles Sanders, Carolina.
Huge.
James Conner, Arizona. Alexander
No.
Madison, Minnesota.
Up.
Cam Akers, Rams.
No.
And Kenny Walker, Seattle. Let's go one
Walker.
more.
6.
Let's
All
go
right, let's
one
go
more. Let's go. That's an
Walker.
easy one.
You like Walker, Jameson?
Matson.
Walker and then Madison.
All right, next 5. Tell me who you like out of this group.
Just do 3.
Okay, let's do 3. James Cook, Dalvin Cook, not even on a team, and Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
James Cook.
Yeah, so those,
Especially since Hines is out for the season.
and then these 3: David Montgomery, J.K. Dobbins, and DeAndre Swift.
Gross.
I see. I feel like
I feel like J.K. Dobbins is hot.
now in that group there's somebody
Swift.
I love.
Swift catches the ball.
Negatory Ghost Rider. But anyway, my point is like from 20 to 33, there's some sexy bitches in there.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Anyway,
I feel like we've divulged too much
God, I
information.
mean,
You
I
threw
know.
out way
About
too many names there.
How freaking
I know
like,
there's a couple of names that you didn't throw out there, so I'm
moist
glad
is
that
he
you
going to be
did.
around round 7 when he gets J.K. Dobbins?
We're gonna get
I just got J.K. Dobbins in the 7th round. Thanks, guys.
There's
There-
definitely going to be some
I'm going to go ahead and
Moisture.
draft poisoning.
there's only one Raven. Up 2. I could see Lamar being on my team if he falls value. There's
Odell?
only other than Lamar, there's only one Raven that I would have on my
Odell?
team. Negative.
You love Odell.
No. It's the
It's Andrews.
no.
The tight end, you wouldn't take the tight
Too
end.
expensive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Too
Hate
expensive.
him.
We'll get to
Hated
tight
it.
ends. We'll get to tight ends. No.
Come on, Jameson, you keep jumping ahead positions, man.
Well, he said a Raven.
Quote the Raven.
Nevermore.
So no, it's the Rook. I
Who's
like
your
that.
best kicker?
A little
Yes,
little
it is.
nugget. No, I like Zay Flowers. I like the rookie.
Love
receiver.
Zay.
Poor man's Tyreek.
Are we jumping to receivers?
He's gonna. Who was
We're
the?
still
Who
on
was
running
it that was
backs.
gonna have 80 catches?
Oh, the backup from Cincinnati. He went to New Orleans.
No, he went to Tampa.
He was in Cincinnati forever, though.
Who was it?
He was
gonna
only
drive
like
me
15
nuts.
catches away.
No, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Oh, yes, he was.
He had like
Look it up.
58. Yeah,
Right.
I think he only played like 7 or 8 games.
Fact check that shit. All right, let's move on to receivers then. Any like super running backs real quick. Is there like a guy way down there that you think is worth a bullet on?
Naheem Hines.
Yeah, he's gonna be hot this year.
Super
Yeah,
hot.
seriously, you got to jump up and get him quick.
Yeah. I'm looking at the list here. Like a guy like 64th ranked running back Kenneth Gainwell, Philadelphia Eagles. He's got a role. Gus
He's got a
Edwards,
defined role.
51st running back. Gus Edwards, Baltimore. I mean, in my
Khalil
opinion,
Herbert, Chicago Bears.
Khalil Herbert. What about Deontay Foreman, Chicago Bears?
I'm taking every bear possible. Bear down.
Bear down. How come the Colts don't have a cool saying like that?
I was just thinking that.
What was Pagano's big,
Jalen Warren.
Ooh,
Pittsburgh.
Sneaker.
Najee Harris is really good.
Najee Harris was on my team last year. I traded for him.
Not good.
He was
Gio Bernard.
Gio Bernard.
Gio
That's
Bernard.
the guy.
Yeah. Look up, see how many catches he had.
Look it up.
He's
All right.
no Rex Burkhead, sir.
Do you want to move on to wide receivers, or do you want to talk Houston running backs?
Who's on the Houston running back?
Dameon Pierce is correct.
Dameon Pierce. Singletary went to Houston too, didn't he? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about James Cook for Buffalo? He's going to be the lead back there this year. He's kind of intriguing.
He's going to be hot.
Yeah.
They run the ball a lot, Buffalo.
Yeah. Look at
Big run team.
Look at his eyes when I brought up James Cook.
I love Dalvin Cook.
Woo!
I can't believe that Dalvin Cook is a
On to
free
you,
agent.
sir.
Yeah. James Cook's hot, dude.
Barry sniping Cook.
Sniping both Cooks when
Cook it
Buffalo signs Dalvin.
Cook brothers.
And Jameson's going to have the Cook brothers playing for
Yeah.
Buffalo.
Because
on
I
his
had a
team.
Buffalo player last year, and I loved every minute of it.
Knox.
So frustrating.
Yeah. He's
I thought-
horrible. I had Singletary. He was good some games, and some games really frustrating because Josh Allen actually runs the ball quite a bit. So
Is he a Russian quarterback?
Da
That's a good betting.
his Russian quarterback. Let's move on to wide receivers, boys. The top is Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, CeeDee Lamb. Garrett Wilson is making a peek inside the top 10. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, A.J. Brown. That's your top 10. I love all 10 of those guys. I find myself at this point in my life, I'm just a receiver whore. I love them all.
Wow.
Yeah. I just want to draft receivers.
So who are you taking there at 5?
At 5, oh, man. I'm probably going
I'm on
Travis
St.
Kelce.
Rock. Yeah. That's a
That is
good
the
pick.
most well-planted smokescreen I've ever seen, Dan. It's so well
TK.
done.
TK.
The guy hasn't missed a game in like 10 years.
All he does is score touchdowns,
Put that
like
burden
Chris
on
Carter.
Huh? No, he hasn't missed a game because of injury. He missed one because of COVID. Let's little side note.
COVID.
COVID.
Am I
had
right?
COVID. Yeah.
Am
COVID,
I
please.
right?
Thanks, COVID.
Was he quarantined?
I think so.
Probably.
That whole the dumbest year and a half ever.
He couldn't play because he was quarantined.
Mm-hmm. Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite top 10 guy there?
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, it's obvious, right? I got to say, I don't think it doesn't matter because I'm not going to get him. He's not going to make it back to me. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's
You just like his neat name.
ooh, Jameson just got a weird twinkle in his
Yeah.
eye again.
Did he get
I've
a
got a
Gio
twinkle
Bernard
for like
start? The
55.
the 25 receptions from Gio Bernard.
Yep. Gio Bernard, I'm surprised he didn't throw like 10 catches, like 10 receptions as a quarterback too, because he was
Who?
really good. Gio.
Gio Bernard?
Yeah.
Why are we talking about Gio Bernard right now?
I
we were
thought
talking-
Jameson's twinkle in his eye that he just looked
I
up
thought
Gio
we were
Bernard's
talking-
receptions and they were 25.
Was it really? Did you look that up?
No, I
wouldn't
thought
be
that was
surprised.
you looked it up
I will.
and you were
I'm not
twinkling
sure.
in the
I'm
eye.
looking it up right now.
No, you guys go on with the podcast. I'm
2022.
going to look it up right now.
I'm
It was
looking
not.
it
It
up.
was not last year. It was 2 years
It's
ago.
21. Or no, it's 2020, wasn't it? Or no? Oh no, it's not looking good
This
for me.
just makes for great, exhilarating podcasting as we all look up Gio Bernard stats from 2 years ago.
Yeah, let's move on.
23.
He was on the Saints, right?
Yeah.
I said 25. I went over again. That's
was on the
twice.
Bucks.
I mean,
I thought it was
oh,
like
yeah,
50.
okay.
23. He was only
It was
15
close.
away,
It
man.
was like
Clearly,
He was
In-
so hype about that
in
pick.
2002 we would
I
have
mean,
no
watch,
choice
man.
but to
He's got
believe
Tom
you.
Brady. He's going to have 80 receptions.
It's like so. I mean, are you kidding me? It's going. Yes, for sure.
Speaking of Tampa Bay running backs, do they have one? Like what's
Rashad
his-
White.
Yeah, there you go.
Are we
That's-
back on running backs?
Yeah, I always I can't remember the last time I had a Tampa Bay running back on my team.
Well, I lost the.
It's like having
Warwick
a,
done.
it's like having a Patriots running back. It's so frustrating.
What do you guys think about Rashad White this year?
Huge.
I think I drafted him last
my
year
eyes
and
are
ended up
twinkling.
trading him to you somehow, right? Last year. Yeah.
Barry's
Yes, I think
ultimate
so.
goal was to have at least 32 different running backs on his team throughout the year.
I just
Yeah.
needed a handcuff Fournette. That's all.
Let's talk.
It wasn't innocent enough.
The first tier of guys, receivers, is pretty. What do you think about Garrett Wilson? Thoughts on
I
him?
think he's a little overhyped, personally.
Would you draft him that early?
What's that early? I mean, are you drafting him
13?
with 5
I mean,
overall?
Jamie's right in the Garrett. Well, like these,
He shouldn't be drafting Garrett Wilson even in the second round.
Jamie's in the C.D. Lamb, Garrett Wilson, Amon, A.J. Brown. That's his wheelhouse.
I would take C.D. Lamb over him for sure.
I had C.D. last year. He's delightful.
He's fun to watch.
He is he makes you do this a lot.
Ooh, CD.
twiddle like Montgomery Burns twiddle fingers. Yeah, he's amazing.
I mean, what I'm looking at, it's C.D. Lamb, Devontae, Amon St. Rock, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Waddle, Chris Olave.
If I'm drafting where you're at this year, I'm leaving the second round with 2 of those guys right there.
Right.
I'm going.
You're a
CD
big receiver guy.
Yeah.
Big receiver guy, yeah. Well, you're going to have Kelsey. So,
Yeah, I'm going Kelsey round 1 and probably.
Jalen Hurts round 2.
Yeah.
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 Getting the band back together.
Classic. Let's talk receivers 11 through 20 because this is an interesting group. Jalen Waddle, DK Metcalf, T. Higgins, Devonta Smith, Chris Olave, Deebo Samuel, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy, Chris Godwin. These are the
There's your
guys.
Denver
What is
receiver,
this?
Jerry
The
Jeudy.
love with the Cleveland Browns. Like,
I don't know. What do you mean? With
weird. Like, Amari Cooper, 14.
look at his stats from last year.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
He doesn't give me the tingles.
Me neither. He won't be on my team. This is the kind of. There's a couple of second
Like,
receivers.
He's ranked ahead of Deebo Samuel. Come on.
There's one guy that in this here. Like this is the Barry. This is the list of guys that coming back around in the second round that could be on our teams. This for anybody drafting up at the front of the draft. These are the guys that you're going to get in the second round.
Correct.
Who you like there, bud?
Chris Olave, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle,
Mm-hmm.
Just
Deebo Samuel.
reread the top 10.
T. Higgins.
I think T. Higgins is grossly underrated. Like, if he didn't have Chase on his team, he
Garrett
would be
Wilson.
a freaking monster. I like T. Higgins.
I thought we already established that Garrett Wilson was a top 10 guy.
Top 10 receiver, but it doesn't mean he's going to not be there in the second round coming back down.
He won't. No way.
What did but
'Cause
he
you'll take
trade?
him at
Didn't you?
5.
Where are you picking in the second round? Like you and Brian
Oh,
do
yeah.
this dumb trade every year.
Well, I'm picking wherever the 4th spot is coming in the second. So
So you guys
21st
swapped
or
first
whatever.
and second round picks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but then I swapped with Deebo. I moved up to that 4.
Can you
So
give
I have
me
the third pick in the third round.
Can you give me a late round pick that you like? Either both of you?
Receivers?
Yeah.
Brandon Cooks.
Dallas, yeah. Yeah, he balled out for Houston last year. Brandon Cooks, yeah, that's a good one. What about what
What do you consider a late round?
let's say 30 on?
I like Michael Pittman. I always have.
Yeah.
I think if he would put the ball in the end zone a little bit more, he'd be a top 15 receiver.
Yeah.
Michael,
Michael,
he had
what
a little
about
bit of a
Michael
little
Thomas?
drop issue. I've never, dude. No, Michael
Yeah.
Thomas is old and sucks and hasn't played in like 2 years.
Mm-hmm. In the best ball drafts, you can get him in like the 10th or 11th round. I've been adding him a couple teams.
Sneaky.
I mean, it could be a league winner.
Could be.
Cortland Sutton, 40.
Are you guys familiar with the Kansas City receiver situation currently?
Yes.
Who's your favorite?
Big Kadarius Toney guy.
Yeah, he's another wild card. Could win you a league guy, but he also could be a wasted pick. It depends on how early you got to take him, whether it's worth it or not, in my opinion. Sky Moore, thoughts on him?
Rookie.
No,
Second
he's
year.
Second year.
Second year. Ah.
Yeah. good stuff coming out of training camp on him. So I guess my feeling is that either Sky Moore or Kadarius Toney, one of those two guys is going to be
The next Tyreek.
well, just somebody who is in someone's lineup every week, like and contributing big time, helping you win games.
Problem with the KC receivers is when they get in the red zone, it's Travis Kelce or what's the number one, the running back? Can't remember his name now.
Isaiah Pacheco,
No, the other one that
McKinnon, or
Jerick McKinnon.
Jerick McKinnon. Yeah.
I mean, go back and look at it. He loves Kelce and McKinnon in the red zone.
Yeah.
Not a lot of red zone receiver touchdowns in the Kansas City Chiefs, and
No.
he throws a million touchdowns. So.
Right. Barry wanted to talk about Rondale Moore for the Cardinals,
Yeah.
Purdue guy. So what are your
I
thoughts?
thought we agreed that this was a no Cardinals podcast.
Yeah.
I did agree to that earlier. Why did you bring that up?
My bad. It was a
Rondale.
test. You
Okay,
passed.
thank you.
Warren Central Warrior.
Congratulations.
Over here busy doing tight end research, and you interrupt me like that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sorry. I'm sorry. There was a note here. Barry wants to talk Adam Thielen's inability to separate now. Carolina, go.
Correct, yes. You said it all. You summed it up perfectly,
He's watched
Dan.
a lot of tape on it.
Just so you people listening know, we do not watch one single bit of tape ever.
Adam Thielen is a gamer. He's
Right.
a gamer.
These are all just purely non-informed opinions, every single one of them. So, next for me personally,
I mean, why would you tell the people that, Danny?
because they know. They know. Let's talk.
They always know.
Let's talk tight ends, boys. Tight ends is just so
The number 5 pick in the RFL draft, Travis Kelce.
right. Obviously, I hate that I had to disclose that, but yeah, Kelce is going to be gone at 5 in our draft. How early would you take Kelce?
8 or 9, honestly.
Yeah,
It's scary.
5. No doubt.
no doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt, Barry.
Okay,
No diggity, in fact.
so Kelsey's in a tier of his own.
I think you should get a deal done with Brad to move down to 7 and then take Kelsey, and then he might give you like a 10th rounder for him to move up to
Fact.
5.
I'm gonna stay at 5. And who's your non-Kelsey? Who's your who would you like to have on your team at the cost that you could get him at? I guess is the caveat. Like, where do you see yourself drafting a tight end this year? Because I think Andrews is going to go, what, 3rd round?
Wherever Ms. Wiki's picking in the second.
Yeah. He might take him in the 1st.
He might take Kels and Andrews and rock with
Would-
the double tight end.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Super flex tight end style.
Yeah, tight end, man, like, I don't know. If you don't get one of the top 2 or 3, then you just kind of hold out.
Yeah.
Like, I've had Kittle even, and he's kind of frustrating at times. Like, you want him to be better than he is, but there's too many weapons.
Kittle won't be on my team.
No, me either.
He doesn't get enough touches.
Well, he's kind of soft.
Whoa.
Just saying. Darren Waller on the Giants could be a sneaker.
I agree.
Danny Dimes.
I agree.
I mean, if Danny Dimes isn't taking off running,
You
Darren
guys
Waller
made
will be
fun of me last week or 2 weeks ago talking about Darren Waller, and now all of a sudden,
no,
It's a sneaker.
you're like unabashedly
Cole
Big-
Kmet for me,
big
though.
Darren Waller guy.
well, and then yet we have to bring it up 2 weeks before the draft. You throw it out there a month ago, people forget about the shit. But
Yeah.
You're not getting
I'm
Waller.
I'm
big-
not giving you any more.
I am
nuggets.
big
All
on
right, I'm done.
Cole
We can
Kmet
talk about
in the
kickers.
4th.
You like Cole Kmet?
Cole Kmet in the 4th.
Yeah. Classic. Any late guys you love or like? Are you familiar
That
with?
big boy from the Colts, Jelani Woods.
Yeah.
He'd be fun.
There's a rookie in Detroit that's getting a lot of hype, Sam Laporta. I don't know. Rookie tight ends don't have a great history. Michael Mayer, Las Vegas rookie tight end. Buffalo drafted a big, high-profile tight end too, didn't they?
Pretty sure Barry's
Yeah.
taking Fryermuth.
Dalton Kincaid.
Pat Fryermuth.
Mm-hmm. We done talking tight ends?
That, folks, is the
they don't-
exciting
they
world
don't
of tight
really-
ends.
Yeah, they don't really do it for me, Kyle
Let's move on to
Pitts.
kickers, please.
Kyle Pitts. What about Kyle Pitts?
Just throwing tight end names out just for fun.
Joku.
Kickers.
David and Joku.
Didn't like it, David Njoku. Didn't you pick him up, Danny, and he scored 3 touchdowns the week that Brad dropped him? And
No, that was
or the other way around.
That was Evan Ingram.
Okay, yeah. I think there was an Njoku situation too with Brad.
Mm-hmm.
He had a couple of tight end situations last year.
When you own every player at one
Right,
point in
It's
time.
eventually going to bite you in the ass.
Yeah. We're not talking kickers and defenses. I refuse.
Justin Tucker, the one guy from Baltimore you'd put on your team.
Yeah. So we'll try to do next week maybe a little more detailed breakdown of some stuff.
We'll
perhaps.
watch some film and then really
Yeah.
come back here with
Get
some
in the
So you guys
informed,
wanna
the
have
film room.
and some
big-
informed
big film
opinions.
sesh?
So, yeah.
Right.
Definitely getting in the film room.
Right. For sure. But
Who's the Colts kicker this year?
that's a good question, Barry. Let's
I don't
Let's
know.
look at
That
kickers
is a
for
great
second
question.
here, all right?
Wow.
Matt Gay.
Let's go, Matty.
Matt Gay. I'll be damned.
Happy little guy.
Yeah. Matt Gay.
It's getting hot in here.
No horse noises for Matt Gay.
Good old Blue. All right. Well, I think that will wrap it up for this week. Get in some drafts, boys. So we can,
Join your local fantasy league. It's
Yeah,
fun. I
yeah.
gave a persuasive speech on it in my college days at Ball State.
Did you really?
Yeah, in my speech
A
class.
plus for sure.
Oh yeah. It's
Nailed
like you had to
it.
give, an informative, persuasive speech, and I'm like, why you should play fantasy football.
I feel
It makes-
like
I had like poster boards, and
Uh-huh.
it makes every game
was
interesting
basically
the way
like-
to the end.
you were Will Ferrell in Old School when he just gets up there and crushes the debate.
Oh, those people were looking at me like I was freaking an alien.
Wow, man.
It was the best persuasive speech ever.
Love
Any
it.
other final thoughts? Any burning, any OnlyFans burning desires from either one of you?
A lot of good things about Quiddy Pay. I forgot to mention that in the.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. I would love for him to be good. We need an edge rusher. Let's go,
We
Quiddy.
do need an edge rusher. Well, let's put the cool sounds of Eli Elvis to ride us out. Y'all have a good week.
Peace.
Yeah, baby. Back it on up.
Shaft. Travis Kelce.